Welcome back, and thanks very much to Benson and Hedges for those words. So we're going to get right back into it, the draw for the first round of the Kenley Cup first round, and already some big matches which will be taking place next Friday, the 10th of January in the Capwell Sports Bar. So Stephen, will we move on to game 5 of the first round of the Kenley Cup? So some very tasty players still in the pot A and pot B here. And coming out here of pot B is Padraig Bleeding Gums Murphy. And Padraig recently turned the ripe old age of 24. I wonder will his experience prove to be a big advantage against his opponent, and that opponent will be Stephen. Oh, what a battle this will be. He's up against the Belle of Berkeley, Stephen Mahon. And I was recently reading a newspaper article with the champion Stephen Leonard, and he said Stephen Mahon was one of the most consistent potters he's seen in the pool circuit recently. High praise indeed from the champion. Padraig Murphy versus Stephen Mahon.
Not the best birthday present.
No. I wonder if he got a lump of coal as well off Santa. That would be a real double whammy. And in game 6, DVD, David Vigorous Drake. Of course, he was shrouded in controversy last year at the way he exited the tournament. He'll want to redeem himself after that. And David Vigorous Drake will be up against... Oh! When they make derby matches, they don't make them much bigger than this. He's up against his neighbour, Stephen Cue Ball Corcoran. And last year, many commentators noted when Stephen Corcoran went out in the first round that his cue action actually is what let him down. I'm led to believe Stephen will be bringing his own cue this year. That spells trouble for David Vigorous Drake. What a game. Drake versus Corcoran, round 1.
Howdy Crowdy from the carry down will be up to take those snaps anyway.
Big time. They'll be looking back at this one for years to come.
2 big hitters from the Onabui.
So game 7. The bad guy of pool. It's Michael Slippery O'Neill. Now Michael, a big talker. Who will he be up against?
Mike didn't drink last year, I believe, actually, for the tournament.
No, he stayed on the dry.
Didn't do much well.
No, maybe he should have a nagging or two before he comes down this year.
In the right condition all too often.
And he's up against the man from the lock. It's John, the Hammer Neville. Now, of course, Mike and John were both former business students with Maurice Murphy. Both went on to do master's degrees. Michael in UCC, John in CIT. So a bit of spice in that one. Slippery O'Neill versus the Hammer Neville. And the last game, we'll have to go through the formalities as always, Stephen. But here he is. One of the most accomplished pool players in the tournament, but serious question about his bottle. Chris Cumshot Dennehy. And of course, Chris, as I said, no one racks up more pots in a row than Chris. But does he have the mentality to deal with the white-hot atmosphere of the Kenley Cup? And in the first round, he'll take on Stephen.
Who could it be?
Who could it be?
Could be anyone.
Here he is, rank outsider, the man from Japan, David Wang. And Chris Dennehy will be happy with that one because I was in the local bookmakers recently and they're giving odds as big as 600 to 1 that David Wang will win this tournament. And I believe you can even get odds as outrageous, definitely know that he's against Chris Dennehy, of 200 to 1 that he'll get beyond the first round. The Japanese man might have something to say about that. He's up against Chris Dennehy in the first round.
But Chris being an avid darts fan, we remember Phil the Power Taylor. First round of the darts, second round I believe. Gone, kaput.
Yeah.
Kaput.
And of course, it was nothing short of a giant-killing performance last year. I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but I was given no chance when I played Chris Dennehy, and that was the end of his tournament. David Wang, he might take some inspiration from that.
And who do you think is Stephen Leonard's biggest challenger, biggest threat on the circuit?
Well, I've been asked that a lot during the week by pool fans around Cork, and up until now, I just had to say, Stephen Corcoran coming with his own cue, he'll have improved that cue action. No end, he's going to be second favourite behind Leonard. But the way the draw has materialised, he's got a really tough one against his neighbour David Drake. And I mean, Chris Dennehy, bottle is a question, but there's no doubting his talent. He's got, without out of doubt, the plum draw. He's got, David Wang, he's Japanese, he's not used to the Cork tables as such. He struggled last year with the tournament. I think Chris Dennehy now has a great chance. So, we'd like to thank everyone who's tuned in for the draw for the Kenley Cup. As always, it's going to take place in the home of Cork Pool, the Capwell Sports Bar on Douglas Street, and it's going to take place next Friday, the 10th of January, and it'll be kicking off at 5:30 sharp. So any pool fans who want to get down there and avail of the great offers, Foster's and Carling will be going at €3, 5:30, Friday the 10th of January in the Capwell Sports Bar, Douglas Street. And I'd just like to say thanks very much to the Capwell Sports Bar and to Benson and Hedges for kindly supporting this competition. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night.